in my home.
Yakshimash! My name is
Rico Rodriguez.
Just Cause is a game about freedom, the power of the US government, and explosions. You play as Rico Rodriguez, a member of the agency, and although being based on James Bond does in fact not get any bitches.
Oh, and don't think I forgot the last time, Rico.
Helping Rico commit mass acts of terrorism is Tom Sheldon, known as the guy who loves pork, oil, or also known as the guy who's got a different voice actor every fucking game. But let's be honest, who gives a shit about that? It's all about the explosions. The gameplay is okay. The controls are passable, and the shooting is alright, but that's probably because you've got more auto-aim than a mobile first-person shooter. The driving is the most inconsistent thing in the world, only to be challenged by my upload schedule. Sometimes it's alright, sometimes it's passable, and sometimes it's this. All I'm trying to do here is straighten up the damn car. It's not particularly fun a lot of the time, and it doesn't always exactly get the job done either. However, with the driving quality being how it is, it can definitely cause some funny moments sometimes. As I just showed, the physics are pretty broken, which can definitely cause some funny moments like I just showed you. I guess they were getting prepared for the wingsuit already. What makes this worse is that this is one of the only ways you can actually traverse the over 1,000 square foot kilometer map, which, can I just say, for a game that's on the PS2, that's really impressive. But yeah, this is one of the only ways you can actually traverse the map in the game, because while the grappling hook is in the game, it works completely different to how it does in the later games. First of all, you can only actually attach it onto vehicles. Second of all, you actually have to equip it instead of just being able to press a button and you can shoot it. And third of all, you can't attach it to things like buildings or the ground. Now, flying controls on the other hand are surprisingly the complete opposite of regular cars and stuff, because they're actually quite decent. There's really no problems I have with these here. Now, I only have footage of helicopters, but I can say from experience with planes that they fly pretty damn good as well. Skydiving and parachuting, now although sometimes it is a bit finicky, which does make the final mission a bit of a pain in the ass, overall isn't bad. This is also the only time in the series where you can equip your fist as a weapon where it's not a melee weapon, and yes, it is as stupid as you would hope it to be. You can also use the heavy drop system to let one of 4 vehicles get spawned in. Now, I will recommend when you do this, do not get too close to the smoke where the box will land, otherwise, well, this happens. The AI is just alright. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. It's probably one of the more realistic AIs in terms of open world games, because when you try and steal a car, instead of them just letting you steal their car, instead they just fucking run you over. Now the question you probably all have is, how are the explosions? Well, where were we again? Oh yeah, In terms of side content, there's a lot to indulge in. Really repetitive side mission, anybody? No takers? Not surprised, honestly. But I'm gonna go through a list of all the different side content there is in the game. There are over 300 side missions, 9 races, 15 different types of collectibles, and 45 places that can be liberated. Now that may sound like a lot of content, and for a game that probably costs about 50 quid at launch, that's a bargain, but well, I never said it was good content. Let's take the side missions. What are these like? Well, this one, you go somewhere, kill this guy, steal something, okay, and this other mission here, you go here, steal something, and kill some guy. And this one here, it's the same thing. Do this, rinse and repeat 300 times, and boom, you've done all the side missions, and well, that's, what's it called, oh yeah, boring! Also, another thing I'd like to say, that if you die in one of these side missions, instead of maybe putting you back at the last checkpoint, or at least the beginning of the mission, instead, it just puts you at a damn safe house outside of the mission. So if you die, yeah, go fuck yourself. When it comes to the races, let's be honest here, do you really want to be racing with these god-awful driving controls? Yeah, no, game, go fuck yourself. The collectibles, I'm pretty sure do fucking nothing, so I've never bothered to try and collect them all. That leaves us with Settlement Liberation, so how's that? Boring! They're not bad, but they're not particularly good either. Let's look at Just Cause 3 and let's see why that's fun. Just Cause 3's Liberation is fun because you get to destroy things, fly around, mess up public infrastructure, let rebels in, and overall, be a complete dick. Now let's remove all of that and make so all you have to do is run down a road, kill people and blow up a barrier 3 times and then ride the flag, because somehow they can't get in if you ride the flag. Who knows why that doesn't make sense? I don't know, and don't ask me why you can't just jump over the barrier and then ride the flag that way. Who knows? And another problem all these liberation missions have, just like the side missions, that if you die in one of these, then well, you get sent right back to a safe house. So in a situation like this here, where I got hit by my own teammate, because the AI is so moronic it can't tell what's an enemy and what is Rico Rodriguez. Well, when I get hit, lost over half my health, I can't do shit. So then, when I get killed by an enemy, I get sent all the way back. Fuck! However, unlike the collectibles, there is actually a reason to do all this, because when you complete a liberation mission, you actually unlock more safe houses, which means you will unlock more weapons. So, there is actually a reason to do this. It's just not fun. When it comes to the soundtrack, I personally think it's quite good. I think it definitely does fit for the style that the game's going for, you know, that more action movie-esque sort of thing. My only problem is that if you're just playing the game, you won't have heard half the soundtrack. When I was listening to it for this video, I hadn't heard half of it. And let's put it this way, I've been playing this game pretty consistently for the past few years, and I hadn't heard about half this soundtrack. And in fact, I think the only tracks I'd actually heard in game were about 4. My only other problem with the soundtrack is that when you get into a car, you just get nothing. Now I know this isn't Rockstar, we ain't got that GTA budget, so we can't have about 200 licensed songs, but come on, you tell me there couldn't be at least one small little track that would play when you get into a car.
Walk in the woods. Found a dollar, found a dollar.
Now you're probably wondering, why have I waited till pretty much the end of the video to finally talk about the story? Well, that's mainly because there's not much here, there's not much to talk about. And this goes really for all the Just Cause games, because in these games, the story is pretty much just a reason for you to go in and commit terrorism. The game is broken down into 19 story missions, and to be perfectly honest, I'm pretty sure the plot could be summarized in one sentence. The made-up country of San Esperita has got an evil dictator named Mendoza, and you play as Rico Rodriguez, and your mission is to take him down. Boom. Whole plot summarized in, like, 2 lines. Yes, the plot of this game is nothing special, but this is a Just Cause game. If the plot was special, that would be worrying. For what the game is trying to achieve, which is a very 80s or 90s B quality type movie, you know, very Bond-esque, it could be worse. Now, going off the fact that I spent pretty much this entire video shitting on, criticizing, and overall taking the piss out of this game, you probably assume that I hate this game. But that would be a complete lie. I sorta love this game, even though it is so unbelievably bullshit. The really stupid plot, the very paper-thin characters, I can't help but smile at this game because of what it's trying to be. This game spawned one of my favourite game series of all time. In fact, one thing a lot of you don't know is that my whole name of Explosive Maniac actually came from my love of the game Just Cause 3. So this whole series and this game alone means a lot to me. In fact, on my old channel, one of my original series I did was actually a series of me playing through and messing around in this game, and although they weren't good videos, yeah, it inspired, my love for this series. The game itself was quite impressive and ambitious for its time, with a map that was over 1,000 square kilometers and 89 different vehicles. That is quite impressive for a game on the PlayStation 2. Is the game worth going back to now? I don't think so. Unless you're a really big Just Cause fan that wants to see how the series started, I don't think you should go back and play this game, because overall it hasn't aged that well in a lot of places. One thing though the game did do really well is it showed an idea, it showed a vision of what this game could have been if it was fully fleshed out, and thankfully, just 4 years later, that is exactly what we got in Just Cause 2.
Someone wrote this song before, and I could tell you where it's from. Before 7362251, to put my mind at ease. Please just have a laugh with me, 'cause you know I'm borrowing right now. These sounds have already crowned. Come on, it's a silly dream, dreaming of the imagery unfound.
Now, but
Hey, irrelevant.
irrelevant.